Hey, welcome to my channel. Today we'll be unboxing my T-60 Power Armour from the Fallout series. This is a 1/6 scale action figure made by ThreeZero and it came out in 2021. The box has a slipcase design, and the easiest way to take the figure out is to turn it on its side and just slide it out. All the contents are contained in two different boxes, and this first one here has the main figure, which has the exoskeleton in the frame. And the second box contains all the pieces for the power armor. Before I open them up, let's check out the box arts. These two interior boxes has the same art style as the exterior one, and I particularly like the image on the left with the helmet removed. So let's get started. Inside each one of these boxes is a plastic tray that holds all the parts. And this is a very collector-friendly tray. Once you removed it, you can pop off the top and reach in for all the parts. Because the packaging is non-destructive, you can easily put the figure back into storage as it was. This is the camouflage version of the T-60, and the paint job is actually quite superb. On hand, you can actually feel that there's a slight texture to the surface. Inside the main figure box, there are two cards. One of them is the warranty card, the other one is a manual, which also shows you the 3-button style batteries that you need for the light-up features inside the helmet. The main figure is wrapped in plastic for protection. And once we've opened that up, we can see that it has a very good portrait and a very detailed exoskeleton figure. So let's check it out in more details. I think the portrait is really well done. It's realistic and lifelike. The head can rotate unobstructed, but there is limited tilting movement. In the midsection of the exoskeleton, where the purple color is and where all the hoses are, there are a lot of soft plastic, maybe PVC material being used in this section. On the inside or the interior structure probably is more rigid, but I haven't been able to achieve much motion with the midsection, so I think it's just the look of the PVC looks more realistic. Maybe that's why they use it. The knees are made of solid plastic for rigidity, but throughout the figure you can see that there were places where blue fabric will show through. This is to simulate the blue uniform that a Vault Dweller will usually wear in the lore of the game, as well as on the TV show. But sadly, you cannot remove the pilot from the exoskeleton. They are indeed constructed as one piece that forms the inner frame of the action figure. The feet has very limited movement, but it is controlled by a ratchet system, so it will help you maintain a freestanding pose. Unlike most 1/6 scale figures, this one does not come with extra hands. Instead, both hands feature articulated fingers with triple joints for grabbing and holding onto things. The elbow joint has a soft PVC material on the outside with a ratchet system on the inside that will help you hold the pose. And although I tried to raise or lift up the upper arm, I did not have any success. It seems to me that the shoulder joints in the figure is actually fixated. And one look around the exoskeleton or the framework, you notice that there's actually no moving part. So maybe that's why the actual figure, the shoulder joint itself, does not allow for any movement, because they don't want you to knock off the armor that will be attached on top of the exoskeleton. And from the back, all the beige color area that you see except the knees are made of a soft PVC material. Speaking of the knees, they do use the same ratchet system, so any pose that you make will stay in place. However, disappointingly, the hip joints are not movable, so the range of movement is quite limited, and you can't really achieve many dynamic poses with this. So let's look at some of the accessories that came on this tray. This here is a spare thruster. It has a pair of them. There's a pair already in store on the back, and we'll show you that later on. And this is a soft PVC hose. Again, this is an extra pair that you can switch out and exchange it for the black ones that are already installed. This figure only comes with one weapon, and this is part of it. This is the mini nuke. It is the ammunition for the Fat Man. The round wheel here is the access hatch to the power armor, and is provided in an alternate metallic blue color. And of course, they've provided an in-scale fusion core so that we can power up the power armor. And as you can see, they use generous amount of magnets throughout so that the armors and the accessories can be attached and reattached without losing their tightness. And finally, we came to the only weapon that's included in this set. This is the Fat Man. It is a mini nuke launcher and is considered to be the most powerful weapon in the game. And looking at the in-game model, they really did a very good job replicating what the Fat Man looks like. That said, I do wish that the Fat Man was made maybe about 20% bigger so that it looks more in line with the scale of the Power Armor. The Fallout game is actually known for having a variety of different weapons, and I do wish that they had included more variety in terms of weaponry in this set. Next, we're going to take a closer look at the armor set, and we'll start with the helmet. And right off the bat, we notice that the helmet doesn't go onto the head. You have to remove the human head before you put on the helmet onto the figure. I'm fiddling with it because I was looking for the compartment for the batteries. And I finally found it. The light up features include the searchlight on top of the helmet as well as the visor, and it requires 3 AG1 button style batteries to operate it. The rest of the armor pieces are laid out more or less in their natural position, so it's very easy to figure out which one goes where. This is the access hatch for the power armor, and in the game, when you turn the wheel, this actually flip up so the player can actually enter the power armor. And we see some of these extra parts earlier before. The top of the thigh armor actually is made of soft PVC material. I guess the idea is to increase articulation, but the thigh and the hip joint actually has very limited movement. The armor pieces for the upper arms and lower arms, as well as the upper thighs and lower legs, are all held together using pegs. So I would recommend taking them apart very slowly and carefully so that you don't break them. So finally, we can put it all together. So let's remove the head first. I'm going to start building it from the leg up, and we're going to start by aligning all the plastic packs with the contact points on the exoskeleton. When it comes to the upper thighs, the plastic piece that sticks out from the inside of the armor should line up with the opening that's on the exoskeleton. And I was struggling here with the PVC flap or armor. It should go under the other piece of armor that comes at the back. With the magnetic contact points, the chest armor snaps quite easily into place. And the access hatch on the back goes on just as easily. And finally, we're going to put on the helmet and power it up with the fusion core. I think if you're a fan of the show, of the game, or if you're just a collector of 1/6 figures, this is a good piece to be added to your collection. It is really well made, the scaling is quite good, and there are a lot of things that you can play with, like taking off the armors and things like that. However, the articulation really suffered, even though you can move the elbows and the knees. I mean, they serve very little purpose because of the fact that the shoulders and the hips are pretty much fixed. That said, I still like it very much, and coming in at 14.5 inches tall and weighing over 2 pounds, this is an imposing piece in a collection. And Fallout being so popular these days, it's bound to be a conversation starter. And as a Gundam fan, I can't help but notice the design cues that was borrowed from the Zaku design, and I thought it was a nice way to pay homage to one of the most successful anime, possibly of all times. And some final thoughts about weapons. This particular package came with just the Fat Man. I believe there are other packages that came with different weapons and even more weapons. I wish ThreeZero would consider putting out a weapons pack because the game is famous for the variety of weapons that it has. And also, the power armor being so big relative to other 6-scale figures, it's a little bit tricky when you share weapons from other sets that you might have. If you were to ask me what the ideal power armor would look like, I definitely would choose the T-60 from the Fallout series. Even though I like the Iron Man Mark II suit very much, I much prefer the power armor from the Fallout series. It gives off a vibe that's more realistic and more used. That was the unboxing of my ThreeZero T-60 Power Armour with camouflage paint scheme. Thank you so much for watching. Please like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.